Taylor Swift and Beyoncé won't prop up the U.S. economy much longer. The U.S. economy has enjoyed a remarkable surge in growth this summer, thanks to the spending spree of millions of Americans who flocked to see Taylor Swift and Beyoncé on their concert tours, as well as the blockbuster movies Barbie and Oppenheimer, collectively known as Barbenheimer. However, this funflation phenomenon is unlikely to last, as consumers have exhausted their pandemic savings and face the looming threat of student loan repayments. How Taylor Swift and Beyoncé boosted the U.S. GDP. According to Morgan Stanley, spending on Taylor Swift's Eras Tour and Beyoncé's Renaissance Tour is expected to add about $5.4 billion to the U.S. economy in the third quarter of 2023, accounting for two-thirds of the $8.5 billion total impact of funflation. The average concert goer spent $1,500 to $1,800 on tickets, flights, hotels, and food to see their favorite pop stars perform live for the first time in years. The two tours also generated billions of dollars in economic activity for the cities that hosted them, creating jobs and boosting local businesses. Swift's tours alone were projected to generate $3.6 billion in economic impact across 32 U.S. cities, according to Polestar. Beyoncé's tour was estimated to have a similar effect, with each show bringing in $20 million to $30 million in direct and indirect spending. Meanwhile, Barbenheimer also contributed to the summer spending boom, as moviegoers rushed to see the hit films Barbie and Oppenheimer on the big screen. The two movies have grossed over $2.3 billion in ticket and food sales in the US, and another billion internationally, according to Morgan Stanley. Barbie, a live-action adaptation of the iconic doll franchise starring Margot Robbie, became the highest-grossing film of all time with over $1 billion in domestic box office. Oppenheimer, a biopic of the atomic bomb scientist directed by Christopher Nolan, followed closely behind with over $900 million. Why funflation won't last? Despite the impressive numbers, funflation is not a sustainable source of economic growth. In fact, it is a sign of how consumers have been tapping into their dwindling savings to splurge on entertainment and leisure after being deprived of them during the pandemic lockdowns. The personal savings rate, which measures how much of their disposable income Americans save, peaked at 32% in April 2020, when the government issued stimulus checks and expanded unemployment benefits. Since then, it has steadily declined to 3.4% in July 2023, as consumers spent more than they earned. This trend is expected to continue in the fourth quarter of 2023, as funflation fades away and consumers face higher expenses. The concert tours of Taylor Swift and Beyoncé will end by September, reducing consumer spending by an estimated 0.6 percentage points, according to Morgan Stanley. Moreover, student loan payments will resume in October after being suspended for more than 2 years due to the pandemic relief measures. This will put a strain on millions of borrowers who owe over $1.7 trillion in student debt. Funflation was a welcome boost for the U.S. economy this summer, as Americans indulged in their pent-up demand for live events and blockbuster movies. However, it was also a reflection of how consumers have been drawing down their savings to fund their spending spree. As funflation fades and savings run dry, consumer spending will likely slow down in the coming months, posing a challenge for the economic recovery.